Hello, hello. Welcome to Space Dreamin. This is an online talk show where we explore everything from time, space, and technology to relationships, current events, and spirituality. It is such a pleasure to have you tune in. I am your host, Cabria, reporting live from the Euphoric Space Station, and we have quite a few topics to get into today. Oh, hey, Celeste. Go ahead and pull up today's topics. Alrighty, so we have Rihanna's Super Bowl performance and pregnancy announcement. We also have an exploration of what's going on with Twitter these days. And in addition to that, we have an amazing guest star and friend of mine, Chani, stopping by to talk about the concept of being an outsider. I've also got some really cool music to pass your way during the show. But before we get into any of that, let's get into this week's Astro weather. Pisces season starts at the end of this week on Sunday, February 18th. So bye bye Aqua season and hello Pisces energy. This can be a very dreamy, romantic, imaginative time period, but it's also important to not get caught in illusions, passivity, to be deceived, to not see things for what they really are, and to just kind of fall into passivity to the point that you're not actively co-creating the reality you want. So just be mindful of that. Venus is also conjunct Neptune this week, so this brings kind of like a drunken love type energy. We're really sensitive to beauty and spirituality at this time, so we may feel more drawn or more impacted by those themes at this time. So again, with more Neptune Pisces type energy, you're going to want to be really mindful that you're seeing things for what they really are and not what you want them to be. So just be very, very cautious of that during this Venus and Neptune conjunction this week. Okay, y'all, so let's get some music going. This first track is called Fun While It Lasted by my friend and phenomenal artist Soldier Quentin, and I think you guys will love it as much as I do. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I got the devil in the car with me. What we gonna do? Catch a vibe, catch a vibe. Catch a vibe, catch a vibe. Catch a vibe. She's such a vibrant thing. I love her so much. She smells like peach and she's sweet to the touch. A vibrant thing. I love her so swell. She do me real good and I try to do it well. It was fun while it lasted. It was fun while it lasted. It go hour to hour, okay. Minute to minute. Okay. They don't know who I know, but I'ma stay independent. Okay. Niggas are the fake cool, just to jack your whole swag and just show you fake up, just to make they do mad. Lot of people ain't shit, lot of people try cool. Either way we gotta eat, man them babies need a roof. Mama need a heated home to protect my kin. I promise I will always carry chrome. Rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. But inshallah my soul ain't never left. So baby,
Okay, y'all, so let's keep the show going and let's get into Rihanna's performance and her pregnancy announcement. So, I have so many mixed emotions. Like, honestly, I feel like from my standpoint, Rihanna stands lost last night. We low key lost, and I'll get into why. Um, but I was one that was, watching the concert and also live tweeting with my mutuals about the performance, and everybody knew all at once. Like the moment like she hit the stage and I saw the fit, I was like, something ain't right here. Because she's been gone all this time. I was like, she would have been given body, yaddy, yaddy, physique. We would have it would have been given a little bit something. Like, we would have seen what was going on, with the baby weight. Like, we would have known what body was given. Body was quite covered. So I was like, okay, I'm not the type to body shame or, take it too far. So I'm just like, okay, let's see how the performance pans out. And I was like, okay, we're not getting a lot of choreo, we're not getting a lot of mobility. It's not given what I would have thought after waiting how long for a Rihanna performance. I just would have thought it would have been like underwhelmed is really not the word. Um, but yeah, then we'll get into people saying like, oh, she was pregnant. We'll get into that. But yeah, I was just like, dang, like this is what we got after we waited and waited and waited and waited. And then the pregnancy announcement to me, it's like, yeah, congratulations. Pregnancy is a beautiful thing. But girl, this is your second baby with a colorist. So I'm just like, girl, how supportive do you expect me to be? Like, it's just getting a little bit odd at this point. And yeah, clearly there's no new music, and that's fine too. But I'm more concerned about the back-to-back reproduction with a colorist. Um, IDK, Rihanna, girl, the politic has been looking real crazy lately, anyways. And I don't know how to tell y'all this, but there's no such thing as an ethical billionaire. You cannot come about $1 billion in any ethic way, shape, or form. So, IDK, girl, I just feel like Rihanna stands really lost. It was nice to hear all the bops and, be reminiscing and stuff like that, but it was just like, girl, so what is the future? The future is just continued reproduction with a colorist and makeup. Like, girl, okay, I guess I'll just have to enjoy the legacy at this point. But the legacy is getting a little shaky when this is the person that you're aligning with. So, IDK, I feel like poor men that are probably, a dash of colorists that love to see that concept of like men being taken care of by a more wealthy woman. I feel like they won last night. Rihanna stands did not. So we'll just leave it at that. Congratulations. It is what it is. So next, y'all, let's get into Twitter because I'm a Twitter girl. I've been a Twitter girl from the very beginning. I've been there since 2009. Came onto the platform as a Michael Jackson stan, and I've been holding it down POP since then. But there's been some changes, and you can't look past them. Like, they're not subtle things. So in this segment, I'm going to be pulling from a BBC article that was discussing the most recent Twitter outage. And outie gay, the girls are saying that Twitter's falling off the bone because they want to make a 4,000, I think it was 4,000 character limit. Girl, ain't not enough words in the damn dictionary to be having no 4,000 character tweet. I'm sorry. It's just getting a little bit crazy. Elon did come on board, I believe it was in October, late October, according to the article. And since then, it's just been like dumb little changes. Like, girl, we did not need to see the little side analytics on each tweet. Um, Retweet button got moved. Spaces got snatched and given right back because he didn't like something that a journalist said. So it's just been little annoyances, but we still are on the app because I think, like myself, a lot of people have found community and built community on the app. And I know for sure, like, I love my mutuals down to the ground. And it's nice to get on there and, chat with them and see where they're at on a day to day basis. Like, I'm so grateful that Twitter created that space and allowed for that connection. But day in and day out, I'm just like, girl, is the application gonna be pulling up tomorrow? Like, are we gonna be able to still convene like this? And I've been one of those ones that's dropped all my other social media, just let my mutes know, like, hey, y'all can find me over here if things do go down. But I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, how is this sustainable? Is the app gonna be up much longer? Is there gonna be something else that comes along? I am a millennial, so I've been there when I was there when, Facebook snatched MySpace by the throat. I've been there when the drive kind of went more from Facebook to other platforms like Snapchat and, like Twitter's always been there, I feel like, but I feel like there was more emphasis on Snapchat at a time point. I don't know. These apps, they popping up all the time. They doing the same things, they doing different things. Will we continue to use them in the future? I don't know. You just don't know. But I'm on standby. I love Twitter. I will hold her down to the very end. So we'll just see what happens, y'all. Okay, y'all. Let's get into another song. This song is called Whole by Sofalence and High Life, which again, phenomenal artists, but also phenomenal friends. So I can't wait to share these sounds with you, and then we will get up with the guest star on the other end.
Just so amazing, living in, yes, I'm saving up these chips, not worried about these chicks, except for one girl, she knows she gonna be my wish, my ride or die, not gonna lie, she gonna love me forever, not just say bullshit for fun. When the shit get real, she gon' talk and not run, always loyal to me, cause she know that I'm the one, and I'ma marry a queen, she gon' shine bright like the sun.
Cause you've been out the line. World rap, I'm about to stab you. Can you feel that? You just swung your arm and hit me in my face. So you know what I did? I'll kick you out my place. Then you spray me with some lace. And now all of these hoes I got to chase for. I thought it was all good. And I thought it was a real trouble. Never thought you could. Yeah. Really abundant clock making me feel like I lost soul. Thought you was who I can't trust you. Now I'm chasing hoes on the road, rolling down low. Pull up in the roads for the show. And you know that I got the roads full of gold. Roads full of gold.
Okay, y'all, that was Whole by Sofalent and High Life. And now we're going to welcome our guest star. Hey, Chani girl. Chani, welcome to the show. So before we get into our discussion, let's see what Space Dreamin viewers define an outsider as. Okay, so we have, for the first definition, someone who doesn't fit in with the niche, someone who stands out. Okay. Then we also have someone who doesn't conform to the norms of reality and has their own reality. Okay. So Chani, please tell me about your personal definition of being an outsider.
I would say for me personally, being an outsider is more along the lines of someone that knows that they're different, can tell that they're different, and instead of being very self-conscious and like insecure about it, they're just like, oh no, I'm different, it's cool, it's fine. And a lot of people, they do have problems with that in my experience, because there are a lot of times where I'm loud. I'm always funny, but I am loud, I'm sarcastic. Sometimes I can be selfish, but that's a different rant for a different day for a different drink. Just different. But a lot of the time I find that being an outsider, it's a blessing, because people take you as you are. They love you for the big ball of just who you are. They love me for the big ball of Chani. No matter how I'm coming, it's always just, I love Chani, because I'm not afraid to be who I am, what I love to do, what I love to be in that moment. I'm not afraid to broadcast that. And for the people that get it, they get it. And for the people that don't, yes, you're quick to judge. But I think for me, I choose not to take that so personally, kind of in a sense of, I don't feel as though someone's attacking my character, or someone's just being like, oh no, you are the worst scum of the earth, waste of space, nobody wants you. It's more along the lines for me of, oh, you're different. I'm not used to this different. I'm a little resistant to this different, because I'm not as open as I think I would be. So for me, an outsider is just someone living in their truth. And yeah, a lot of people may rock with it. A lot of people may absolutely hate it. Me personally, I'm just like, let's do this. I'm tired of these normal people. Let's do this.
I think you are bringing up two valid points. Like, it is for sure a protection, because I think that it's kind of saves you from having to wonder, oh, do people really hang out with me and like me for me? It's kind of like, if you do, you don't, cool, great. I don't have to do the weeding out and trying to pretend, and trying to fit whatever energy I need to be in for this interaction for this particular person. This is who I am. They can take it, they can leave it. If they're off put by it, you're probably not my person. And if you love it, then, great. So I think it does save a lot of time, and that's definitely one benefit. The other thing that you mentioned, I think when you get to that point with it, when you're like, I just don't care anymore, I think it saves you from a lot of those people pleasing tendencies that we tend to have, where we do alter parts of ourselves to try to, I guess, pacify or comfort the other people in those interactions. But friend, yeah, it definitely does. It does serve as a protection, I think, in a lot of ways. That's one benefit for sure.
And I feel that way just because, back when I was younger, I did have to go through bullying a lot. There was a period where I was a bully. There was a period where I was getting heavily bullied. And it made me kind of beat myself into this square box of, this is how I need to be constantly, or everybody's going to look at me like I'm crazy. Everybody's going to say these awful things. Even now to this day, it comes from a lot of my mental health, where I remember all of those names that people used to call me, where I still try and beat myself down for it. And after a while, once I got to, I want to say maybe early middle, like late middle school, early high school, I was kind of just like, you know what? I'm gonna get bullied regardless. So it's school. Kids are mean. Like, everybody likes to say that, oh, they're sweet, precious, adorable beings. No, they are complete a-holes.
They will eat you up, and they will set the tone for the rest
There
of
is
your life.
no one that will hurt your feelings more than a child will. This is why I don't have any. But the more I got into it, the more I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to be here, and I'm going to do whatever it is that I have an interest in, whatever it is that's going to make me smile, whatever it is. And it's either going to be an experience where I get to advise people like, hey, I've done that before, didn't really work out, try and do a little different, but just saying, if you ever need to talk about it, I'm the person to talk about it with. Or I'm going to be the person like, yeah, I did it, so what? Who cares?
Yes, friend, I totally agree that presenting as your authentic self definitely serves as protection against those who might have more shallow intent in befriending you. And it also just saves you a lot of time and wondering if people really do like you for you. I'm definitely someone that was outcasted early due to shyness. And that introversion just led me to more unique interests that I was like, I'd rather do this anyways. And I do remember asking my mom, why don't I fit in like at school and stuff like that? And she was just like, you're not meant to. And I was like, cool, like, period. It's not a requirement. Great. Awesome. More alone time. So, friend, tell me about the first time that you felt outcasted, if you can remember.
We were all raised very, very religious. My great grandma was a pastor. My great grandpa was a pastor. My grandma's a pastor. My great uncle is an apostle. Very, very, very long line of just super church oriented. Like, I didn't say my first cuss word until I was like a teenager.
Chani,
So,
what?
yeah, yeah, I was raised up very strictly in the church. And I know that it comes off very weird when people hear that because they're like, there's no way. And I'm like, I could probably recite the Bible better than anybody because I've read it so many times. But coming from that, one thing that I've noticed from a lot of religious or church oriented people back in that day is that they will put you into a box. All it is, nothing else is accepted. So growing up in the church, it was just like nothing else is accepted. This is what you are, and that's it. So anytime I had feelings of wanting to do something else or be something else or explore other things, it was looked at very negatively and in a sense where I wouldn't say it hindered my relationships with people, but it definitely made me second guess the people that I wanted in my life. So, like, for example, when I was a kid, I was heavy into reading. When I say heavy into reading, I could finish a 400-page book in like half of a day. So, super, super big into reading. But the only thing was that my great grandmother, she was very religious. So, anything about wizardry or anything like spiritual or anything of the sort like that, it was like, no, sacrilegious. She wouldn't even let us go trick or treating on Halloween. Like, very hardcore. It's the devil's birthday. Not doing it. And I remember I had what's it called? So I remember that I had done this poetry. It was second grade or whatever. I had done this poetry, and whoever won got this big pumpkin. And so when you got the pumpkin, it was all like jack-o'-lantern and everything. And I remember that I won. I was like, I know I win. I don't know if you know this, but I'm like the hood Dr. Seuss. I know I'm gonna win. And I was so excited about that. And it took me a second, and I had a mini baby panic attack because I knew that it was dressed up like kind of Halloweeny. And I had to take that back to my great grandmother's house. And I'm like, this is gonna be bad. Don't tell them.
Took away from it. Yeah.
So I ended up telling my mom, and she went and she got the pumpkin from my class, and she scrubbed off everything that was on the pumpkin and gave my great grandma the pumpkin and was like, Chani won this. Why don't you make this into a pie? And so she made a big old pumpkin pie. And we just never told her anything. And it was just kind of like, dang, the one person that I find the most special is also someone that I'm not able to bring into my world because of how strong they believe in things.
Wow, friend. My mom was definitely religious, but we didn't grow up in as much of a box. She definitely let us have freedom in our self expression. So I can only imagine how it was to have like so many members of your family kind of in that same religious mindset. And I feel like when you did achieve that, that goal, it kind of diminished it because you were like, I don't know how to present this to the family group I'm a part of, or that I would like to be a part of, because they don't align with these things that I am interested. So in that sense, I'm outcasted. My feelings on this achievement are different from theirs, so I'm outcasted in that sense. So friend, please tell me, how did you cope, or how do you still cope?
Um, so the older I got, the more I kind of like strayed away from my siblings. The more I strayed away from like my mom and my great grandma. I just kind of secluded myself because it's just like, okay, I don't fit in with my family. They're very religious. They're very gospel singing, forever giving, always selfless, humble people. And I'm like, I don't necessarily fit in with them. I don't necessarily fit in with my siblings because, they're very sports and they have their friends and things of the sort like that. And I'm like, my mom, I don't really fit in with her. She's got a million things to go on. She's got multiple jobs. And so I stuck more to my friends. And then I started noticing that I was a lot more different from them as well. So it's kind of just like, you know what? We're just going to keep on going until we figure out anything, something, nothing. Who cares? We're just going to keep going, and whoever is along for the ride, awesome. And whoever is not, awesome. I'm not going to harbor ill will because you don't want to be like me or be interested in things I'm interested in.
Wow, well, thank you so much for coming on, Chani. You are always a welcome guest at the Euphoric Space Station. So hopefully you'll stop back by again soon. Thank you so much for your transparency. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for being you. All right, y'all, it is time for me to sign off. I have had so much fun. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I can't wait to see you next time. For now, I'm going to leave you with a quote by Jenna Wagner. I hope that's how I say her name. But the quote is, and I quote, "It's okay to live a life that others don't understand." Until next time, keep dreaming. Bye.